Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first stream that we have done in quite some time. Whoops, that was a bit of an echo. I had a thing on that I shouldn't have had on. All right, so we are back for the first time with a mistake straight up. But yes, it is the first stream we've done in quite a long time. And I have just been incredibly busy, I must admit. So I've had to just put some things on the side, which I've really enjoyed doing, the streams being one of them. But now I do have a bit more time back. I've finally got a bit of control over what I've been doing. And I'm hoping that I continue to do these things for quite some time because, like I said, I do enjoy doing the streams and it is good to be here. And I hope we can get our audience back. We had a pretty good crew of people that would join us on these streams for a while there. And yeah, I'm hoping we can get some cool people back to tune in and chat with me as I play these games. As we were doing beforehand, we will continue to play a mix of retro and new games. But what we're going to do first up tonight is play some of Ogre Battle 64. This is an N64 game. My favorite N64 game, actually. I love this game a great deal, and you'll see why as we play. As a fan of RPGs and tactics and strategy games and all those things, it really does hit all the right notes for me, and it is a very, very good game. It is an N64 title. I'm playing it on my new Iron Odin Pro, which I only got last week, and it is an emulation console. This is I am playing an emulation console, and I have no idea if this is going to work or not, if it's going to drop out on me halfway through, or it's going to crash or whatever. I'm certainly hoping not. The Iron Odin Pro is more than capable of handling the N64. It plays most PlayStation 2 and GameCube and Wii games without a problem. So I'm certainly expecting it's going to be able to play the N64 as well. But I'm hoping I can wrap my head around whatever controls I need to as I'm playing. I'm using the 8-bit Bluetooth controller as I go. So as anybody who's played the N64 knows, it has a pretty unique controller. So I'm going to have to adjust how I play on the fly. But anyway, those are all good things. And I'm so happy to be able to play this on a TV again. It's been a long time since I did that. Hello, Muzkind, Sean. Welcome to the stream. Is this place where you show your butts? You can show your butt if you really want to. I'm sure everyone will love to see that. Ogre Battle. You played Ogre Battle, I assume. The N64 one, right? It was never actually released in Australia. I had to go through some incredible hoops to play it, because I did play it when it first came out, way back on the N64, but I had to go and buy myself a US 64 and make sure I had a TV that could play. You had to jump through some serious hoops to be an importer of games in Australia back in those days, but it was worth it for this game. I am very much committed to to Ogre Battle 64, and then I played it again when it was released on Wii, the Wii Virtual Console. So I've played it more than a few times over the years, as you can see there. Released in 1999 originally, so it's old now. It's a very, very old game. Oh yes, I had it back in the day. I also bought a sealed copy of the Japanese version about 10 years ago for 200 yen. If that's still sealed, that must be worth a lot more than 200 yen now, I would imagine. This game was pretty rare, especially in the West. You definitely, if you weren't lucky to pick up a copy early on, you were definitely going to have to shell out for it. Anyway, here we go. So we'll start with a cutscene. Because this is an RPG and strategy game, there's a lot of narrative stuff to work through. You're leaving tomorrow. So this game, one of the great things about it, one of the things I love about it, is that it has a really distinctive art style. The character models in this thing are amazing. Whoever was the artist behind the in-game stuff in Ogre Battle 64 just created this really stunning aesthetic, which you don't see that much of these days. There's a couple of, I guess, artists that do something similar, but it's almost unique. Almost. It's a great aesthetic. This is just a flashback, of course. Flashback, a kind of a memory sequence, I guess you could call it. Anyway, we'll let it run through. It's all very melancholic. So basically, in the world of Ogre Battle, there are all kinds of endless conflicts going on. What is interesting about this series is it's very much incomplete. So there was a Super Nintendo Ogre Battle, which I actually streamed quite a long time ago, at least for one or two sessions of these streams. I did do the Super Nintendo one for a bit. And then there was Tactics Ogre. Let Us Cling Together, which is going to get a remake soon enough, or a re-release, or whatever you want to call it, onto the modern consoles. And then there was a Tactics Ogre on the Game Boy Advance as well. But that's it. And this series has a huge number of incomplete chapters. I think the Super Nintendo one, and I'm sure Sean will drop in, Muskind will pick me up if I get this wrong. But I think the Super Nintendo one was chapter 5 or 6. And then this is the sequel to that. So there's like a whole bunch of stuff that happened before events of these games, which actually has never been turned into a video game because the company that made it, Quest Software, got swallowed up by Enix and then Square Enix. And that's why Square Enix is the one doing the re-release of Tactics Ogre now. But they haven't seen fit to continue this series with a new game, which is unfortunate. I love it. I think it's a great series that has a lot of potential. The characters and the world building and all that are amazing, and they just never had done enough with it. You feel like this game and Knights of Lotus tend to get overlooked. Knights of Lotus being the GBA Tactics one, and yeah, totally agree. I mean, the Ogre Battle on the Super NES is the classic, I guess, the best remembered. And then there's also, I mean, the original Tactics Ogre is the one that also got a re-release on PSP and now is getting another re-release. So it's obviously the one that has done the best commercially. Otherwise, Square Enix wouldn't keep re-releasing it. Ah, there we go. So the Super NES game is Chapter 5. So I was right. It was Chapter 5 of 7. And there's a bunch of stuff happening beforehand. And there was a 7th chapter, which has never been released as well. So a little like Star Wars, I guess, as fans of it are hoping that a George Lucas-like comes along to fill in the gaps. Hopefully a bit better than George Lucas did with the prequels, but there's just a lot of storytelling to go. So anyway, we've gone through all of the intro. Now we're going to enter our names. We're going to call ourselves, why not? We'll just stick with Magnus. That's the default name. That's our dude. Yep. Is the name acceptable? Why not? So we're Magnus. And now we go through a whole bunch of stuff about getting our character ready. What is the date of thy birth? I am not going to put my real birthday in there. I'm just telling you that right now. Do not try and hack me. Optus has already done a good enough job of that. So we're going to be April 11th. That'll do. April 11th birthday. And what dost thou hold within thy sword? Ardor, passion, vigor, talent, belief, or hatred. So what we do here is we pick these things and they kind of help us to decide what are the numbers on thy credit card. I wouldn't be surprised if they asked that. That'd be a great thing to do on some modern RPG, just to catch the streamers out. Just ask what are the numbers on your credit card. I should do that. We're going to go with, what do you put inside your sword? Let's go with passion. We can be a very passionate sword wielder. So there is one slight issue, obviously, we can see already with the emulation quality. Unfortunately, there's some lines there. They aren't in the actual game. That's obviously just a quirk of the emulation, which is a little bit unfortunate, but thankfully it's not too distracting. I hope that's about the limit of what goes wrong with it. The emulator I'm using is Mugen 64, which if you have Android is downloadable off the Play Store for any Android device. What shalt thou sever with thy sword? Well, let's sever anarchy. We're going to be the dictator type. With my sword, I will sever anarchy. We're going to liberate the people in the very true sense of the word. For what shalt thou beseech the gods? Let's beseech them for trust. Let's play this nicely. Trust. Gimme trust, gods. What shalt thou offer the gods? Nothing. Absolute lust. Let's give the gods lust. Magnus is a dude. I beseech the gods for some curry. I miss cocoa curry. It's been a long time since I've been to Japan. The last time I was in Japan was 2019. I actually got back from Japan just before COVID hit and then screwed everything up. Haven't been back since. The borders are now open, so I can actually go back again. I'm really looking forward to that. And the first thing I do is go to get some cocoa curry. Level 10 spicy. Yes, we absolutely do. I'm going to go every single cocoa curry along the way. So we'll definitely catch up. I'm really, really missing Japan painfully. What thou wish for? Let's wish for... Let's be honest here. Let's wish for wealth, because that's really what we all want. I wish for wealth on this land. Give me property in Sydney. What shall thou rid from this land? We're going to be the anarchists. We're going to remove rule. Everybody's going to be living communes. We're going to be the communist horny people. Fertility, you coward. Lastly, for whose help does thou call upon? Swift wind, raging flame, solid earth, serene water. That's a good question. Let's go with water. Do like a good wave. Upon thy departure, I bestow these gifts. Captain Planet, there was no heart, you see. I would have picked heart if there was a heart option, but there was no heart. I was very upset about that. So those are the equipment that you start with. That's all right. That's all the stuff you get based on those answers, I think. And then you also get a Fedra of water. Okay, so that was a little quiz. Every Ogre game starts with something like that. Or actually, do the tactics games start with that? I think they do, don't they? I think the tactics games start with a little questionnaire as well. There's Ogre Battle Saga number 6. Yeah. So we're one off the final chapter, which was never made. Person of lordly caliber. So here we get a little montage of, you know, the situation of the world. Everybody's having a good time there, as you can see. People just chilling, campfiring, toasting some marshmallows, watching a sunset. Very Final Fantasy like that. And after finishing their trip, they rock up to the castle, hand in their papers, and get admitted. So this is us. This is our war band. We're going to get our first mission soon. One of the good things about the N64 was they had to be quite efficient. There weren't too many RPGs that were made for the N64 because the storage size was a problem when everybody was making the massive 4 or 5 disc games over on the PlayStation. So the few RPGs that did get made for the Switch, the N64, they needed to be quite efficient, and they didn't waste your time with hour-long cutscenes and things like that. So you can play one of those on a stream like this and still show people some gameplay by the end of it. That's a mighty fun sunset. My cape is billowing with pleasure. We don't have enough sunset you know, standing on the mountain watching a sunset scenes. It's just not common enough in modern RPGs. Welcome to the Palatinian Army, Southern Division. I have to be careful not to say Palestinian Army, otherwise this channel will get marked with the wrong kind of algorithms. But the Palatinian Army, get that YouTube, Palatinian Southern Division. I'm sure you all know that Alba is the most rugged region in the Palatinius. I did just say it, so I'm in trouble now. This YouTube channel is now going to get the wrong kind of people. Well, not the wrong kind of people, I guess. Some of the people will be the wrong kind of people. Some will be the right, and we'll be stuck with them from now on. It looks like some of you are graduates from the military academy in the central region. I have absolutely no idea why you people chose to come here of all places. That's a sterling speech. Great pep talk there, dude. Did you think you could slack off? If that's the case, I suggest you think again. Looks like we're going to be put to work here by this General Goddessless. Don't expect any special treatment. All that counts is your ability. Remember that. Aye, aye, Captain. General. Training exercise. Ariosh, you take care of the rest. So that was us. We got selected as a command candidate, which was nice. So what have you been playing recently, Sean? Anything interesting? It's been ages since we've had a stream where I've been able to ask you what you've been playing. I think I'm going to be playing, most of my free time is going to be spent playing retro games for quite some while. The Odin Pro is quite the device. I'm really impressed with this thing. I've liked plenty of emulation consoles before, but this one is particularly impressive. Plays almost everything I wanted it to play. And that's an awful lot of games. I did 100% clear of harmony or dissonance for some reason. Nice. How long did that take? I guess you would have played it more than a few times in the past, so you probably just cruise on through it now. So this is Hugo Miller, the advisor. He's the one that gives you your little mission briefings and stuff. So we're still just being introduced to the main characters at this stage, but it won't be long now before we actually get a mission to do, which will be good. We'll have a quest, do some fighting, beat up some dudes. When you get old, you can tell a lot just by looking at people's faces. While we lack strength, our knowledge and experience more than make up for it. He's a wise old man. It's Gandalf. Gandalf the Grey. Still grey? No, Gandalf the Green at this stage. Oh, nice. So have you got the Evercade console? Because that's the one I was looking at. I'm quite interested. I still haven't got around to buying an Evercade, I must admit. I really like the console and what it's promising and what it does. I just haven't got around to getting one. But I'm interested in the actual TV console one, if it's any good. Not so much the handheld, I guess. Especially now that Snow Brothers is on the Evercade. That's pretty good. Snow Brothers is the best old arcade game. Nice. I must admit, I find myself playing consoles less and less these days. The Switch I pretty much play exclusively in handheld. Obviously, I got my PS5, but even that I don't really play unless I've got games to review and stuff. Most of my gaming's handheld now. But it would be nice to have a retro console that is legit, as opposed to doing this. So Diomedes isn't the most polite guy. Yeah. Who the hell are you? What's a fossil like you doing, etc., etc. He's a bit of a hothead, you see. It's the rat tail hairdo that gives it away. The rat tail's always a sign in Australia. If you ever see somebody with a rat tail, it means things. Okay. So here we go. We get our first mission. Here's our little map. And as you can see, it's quite, I mean, it's not an open world of the size of Horizons, but it does promise lots of adventure and plenty of quests. At the moment, we've only got the one, so we'll go there. Uh-oh. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Nope, we're good. Like I said, I have not tested this on this console before doing the stream, which is always a bit of a risk. If it crashes and blows up my console, then I won't do that again. But yeah, that's going to cut the stream short. Mostly what I'm doing on my... I mean, I've only had the thing for a couple of days at this point, but I'm playing through Baton Kaitos on the GameCube, as well as Lord of the Rings, The Third Age on the PS2. Those are both games that I really, really want to play. I really wanted to play again, but they'll never get a re-release because EA doesn't own the rights for Lord of the Rings anymore. So no chance Third Age is ever going to get a re-release anywhere. And Baton Kaitos just has disappeared off everyone's agenda ever since Monolith Software got acquired by Nintendo. But both of those are excellent games, and I'm really enjoying having a chance to play through them again. So we're getting our first lecture right now. Diomedes is throwing another tantrum, or Dio as he wants to be called. Dio? Probably Dio, given the JoJo character's name is Dio, so not Dio, Dio. Diomedes. I want you to head to the Theodricius mine to the west. There's been quite a number of incidents recently where the workers were attacked by wild beasts. In addition, there are bandits in the area. So this is yet another RPG, tactics RPG, where the first enemies are, are bandits. If you play any Fire Emblem game, it's always bandits first. I don't know why it is. I guess, to give a more serious answer, I guess bandits represent a kind of low level of discipline. They wouldn't have the power of a formed army as such, so they work as a first opponent in these kinds of games. They can be weak, and it doesn't seem weird. Yeah, that'll be the reason. I'm going with that. So anyway, here's our little tactics map. We're the blue, and the enemy there is the red. The little dots are towns. You need to capture those. Well, they're optional, but you do need to capture those as you go. The green is a neutral, which you also want to capture to protect, I guess. And the square there is the enemy base. That's what we need to hit hardest. When your troops are on a town that you occupy and have made your own, then they recover health. So that works a little bit like Fire Emblem, I guess, or Advance Wars, or any of those other games. But the difference is this one's in real time rather than turn-based. So you'll see that in a minute. So many tactical RPGs where you battle bandits and none of them where you battle the wet bandits. What about a tactics RPG where you get to be the bandit? Why are you always a mercenary? What if you could be like a bandit and start a rebellion against an evil empire or something? And yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like that. I'd really, really enjoy that. Where you could be the bandit first, and your first opponent might be like the militia or the mercenaries sent to attack you. That'd be cool. Okay. Oh, here's a chance for me to actually practice the controls. So map zoom in and out is the C button, and the menu is A or B button. Zoom in, zoom out. Okay, so that's zooming out. That's zooming in. Okay, cool. And then A button, menu. Okay. Okay, so those are the A and B buttons. I needed that. I needed a practice on the way the buttons work. Great controllers, 8-bit those. If you're ever looking for a third-party controller that works on anything that's Bluetooth, I highly recommend 8-bit though. They're like a Chinese manufacturer, but they make really high-quality controllers that look like classic controllers. The one I'm playing here is the Super Nintendo 30 Pro, which is like a Super Nintendo controller, but with the proper number of shoulder buttons and joysticks and stuff. It's a really nice controller. Feels really good. So you would be some kind of rebel against an oppressive empire. I don't think that kind of story would catch on. No, probably not, because what will happen is, for some reason, a whole bunch of people will decide that they want to sympathize with the oppressive empire. It doesn't matter how much you make the oppressive empire an oppressive empire. It doesn't matter how many planets, proverbially, they blow up. You'll still have people that somehow sympathize with them. But anyway, that's another story for another day. Weird people out there. Let's start the training. Remember, this is just a training mission, apparently. But it is a live one. You're fighting against real opponents. So that's a trial by fire, if ever there was one. People dig super cops. Yeah, that's it. People definitely do. Even when those super cops are... There's just no way they could make those super cops more super copy than they did. But still... How about a cop but super and answerable to no authority? I guess that could work. Another option might be to make an RPG or some kind of game where your player's a cop that is also a robot. That would work. I'm sure. It's never been done before, but I'm sure it would work. So, our little hot-headed dude with the rat tail hairdo does not like that he is not the commander. But I don't think he's got the temperament to be the commander somehow. Anyway, we've got to beat him. Or we can choose to pass. Let's go for the peaceful route. Let's not beat this Dio. Let's make friends with him. It would be great. You could load it with social commentary that no one would get, not even the people making the sequels. Yeah. That's not the only one. There's also the one about the space bugs. They somehow managed to miss that with the subsequent sequels, as well as the video games and everything else they made as well. So I think it's like a running theme with that guy's film somehow. Let's not forget the one where everybody thought his film about strip shows in Las Vegas was somehow a serious effort at titillation. Of course. I would hate to be making films. Everybody would get me wrong. So Gandalf comes in to break up the fight. We are getting to the quest any minute now, I promise you. How long are we into this stream? I have no idea. Hang on. We are 30 minutes into the stream and we're about to get into our first mission. So once again, quite brief. Other RPGs would be still going with their opening cutscene these days. Enough. You'll eventually understand your shortcomings. That is perhaps the nastiest thing you could possibly say to somebody. They don't like it. It's very polite, but they don't like it. Try it on Twitter sometime. We're not janitors, we're soldiers. He's got a real problem, that guy. Here we go. Time for the mission. So there's your objective, which is the Theodricius mine. And as you can see, the map is exactly laid out as the briefing said. Now, I've got to work out how to pause, which I don't know yet. I'll find it out soon enough. All right. The main command is displayed when you press the R button. Don't know which of these is the R button yet. We'll find out. Ah, there we go. So when you pause, as I've just done there, as you can see, the time on the corner here stops. There's a little, come back here. The time on the little clock there stops, but you can still actually issue commands to your characters, which is what we're going to do. Magnus here's his controls. Let's get Magnus to move to capture this town. Now he's going to go through the forest, which takes a while, but that's okay. And now he's going to walk. So when I unpause, he's going to go walkabouts. So we can select, these are our other units here. And as you can see, they're the kind of unit construction. It's all basic stuff, but as you play on, you'll get access to a lot more different characters, which is cool. As you can see, there's Dio. He's our frenemy at the moment. So we can summon him. Now he pops up here and we can immediately send him somewhere. We will send him down to this town to capture this. Because he's actually pretty powerful, that guy. And his unit is a handy dandy unit to have around. Next up, I do like that unit, Misty, because there's a griffin there, but it's not a particularly powerful one. I think that fox might be our next most useful hero. And we will send Fox. This makes you want to play Dragon Force again. I don't know if I've played Dragon Force. Have I played it? What was that released on? Something about the name rings a bell, but I actually don't remember having ever played that. Ginger, let's send. Now we'll just send the second unit along with each of the commanders or the leaders that we've sent. So we'll send Ginger there. We will send Misty with the Griffin to help the deal. And finally, we will send Christina to go help capture that town, the neutral town down here. Sega Saturn. Yeah, that's why I actually have not played many Sega Saturn games at all, I must admit. So that would be why I haven't played that one. But if it's a, it's a pausable real-time strategy game like this one. I mean, if you're looking for a modern equivalent to this game, then the Direfield Chronicle, which just released, is pretty similar. So, you know, if you've been eyeing that game up, which is really good, I gave it a great review on DDNet. I really, really loved the Direfield Chronicle. Yeah, if you like this and you're not going to go and pick up an emulation console or not going to try and track down a copy of the N64 cartridge, then the Diofield Chronicle will do you for this kind of gameplay. I would like it. Well, I'll have to try and check it out. I guess I have the means. So as you can see, we can zoom in and out a bit. And the day does turn to night. Your units do need to rest. And they do find stuff along the way too. So we've got some loot there. Your units do need to rest. After about 24 hours on the road or something, they need to take a break. And that means they pitch a tent. And if they get attacked while they're resting in their tent, then it's not good for you at all. So we're about to have a combat here. Magnus is about to run into Bento. And this is what happens. I have no control over these fights. They play out in real time. Well, sorry, they play out automatically. You can't actually control what happens, or you got some minor controls about which enemy they might attack. Like you can tell them to attack the enemy leader or the strongest enemy or the weakest enemy or whatever, but you can't actually control them in battle. You just kind of have to sit there and hope they do the right thing and don't get killed. And a big part of the strategy of this game is not so much controlling units in battle. It's about forming the best units and controlling them around the battlefield well and making sure they're all leveled up and stuff. So it's quite interesting. Quite the interesting challenge. All right, so here we go. Here's my army. Come on, you dogs, let's do it. Now he's got a pretty powerful little unit there. Like that's some strong forces he's got there with the Cerberus and the stuff. But we are targeting the leader, so he's not dead, unfortunately. Good guard, excellent. Got zapped by lightning. Now they'll get another attack in, and they will kill the leader, which is a good thing to do. If you kill the leader, then that causes the rest of the army to kind of die. No, they without a leader, they're not very effective at all. So they'll go away now. And they'll let me capture this town quite easily. See the little skull there? Means they've lost their leader. And now he's running away. So now that they've been liberated, I can hold that town, and that the units that got hurt in that battle will now heal. And I'll need to, because I'm having a counterattack here. This dude is coming up at me. And there's another dude coming at me too. So I'll need to heal as much as possible. Oh, found some more stuff. And now we've liberated Bardu. Now we'll give them a rest. Here we go, we're about to be attacked. Now we're on the defensive. And hopefully I've healed a little bit. Yeah, he's healed a good, he has healed a good chunk. Griffins are pretty tough, unfortunately, but we'll hack our way through. If the leader of either side doesn't die, then the winning side is the side that has done the most damage to the opponents, which will be me in this case, which is good. I'll need to retreat now because I'm about to be attacked again, and I don't want to lose that unit, which has been injured. So, come on. So we'll select Magnus, and we will get him to just retreat a little bit until this enemy wave has gone into the forest there. And we'll also get Misty. Yeah, we'll get some support from Misty just until this wave of enemies has been dealt with. So you can see I really, it's great fun. Like as the game goes along and as you get more complex units, and you really need to start thinking about how you move your units around the battlefield, it is a lot of fun. Like a lot of fun. Now, I don't really need anybody down there to hold that. I'm not going to get attacked. So I can move those units. Oops. I can I can move those units up straight away. Christina. So they'll go into this town here. Here we go. We're being attacked again. This time, Ginger is being attacked by Whistler. So Ginger's not quite as competent of a unit as my leader. So they all get one attack, those little guys. They're kind of the weakest standard unit. Like, they're temporary. They're meant to evolve before they fight too many battles. Oh, that's right. I did a good job there. They don't even get experience points because I think it's after they fight a battle or two or something, they immediately get promoted into an actual class. At the moment, they're just warriors and really not very useful. Oh, they're coming to attack me. Shoot. Let's do this then. Let's do a swapsies. Because I don't want Magnus to get attacked while he's got a weaker unit. If a unit dies, then they're gone for good, which is what I'm worried about. All right. The good thing is that the opponents, because they're nowhere around a town, they're not healing between battles. So I will slowly win this war of attrition on them. See, that witch or whatever it is does not have many hit points left now. Or almost dead. Not quite yet, but almost. And you'll see they don't get many experience points unless they actually start killing the enemy. Oh, see, now that person's going to try and escape. In that case, now, because they're after my base, that's what that little symbol means. They're actually attacking my base. I need them to move. Hopefully I can get there in time. I might have just done a ghastly mistake, which would not be good. If I can't catch that enemy in time. So I'm going to win that battle. What I might need to do actually is chase. Yeah, I'm going to have to chase. Ginger is going to have to try and catch. Once they hit the forest, hopefully I get a chance to catch up to them, because otherwise I'm in trouble. Uh-oh. This is not looking good. This is really not looking good. I think I might be in trouble. Might have done a huge mistake. If I can't catch them in time. Ah, no. Come on. Oh, it's going to be close. In the meantime, I will have to continue on like I haven't lost everything, and I'll try and get Dio to go and capture that. Aussie's in a pickle. Yeah, I really made a mistake there. That was not very smart of me. Oh, thank God I caught them. I should be able to defeat them because I don't think they have many hit points left, and I think I'll be able to get their general. Yeah, I should be able to win this. Oh, thank goodness. I scraped that. So yeah, you don't want to make big mistakes like that. And you would have seen there right at the end, they got an AI down. Now, the reason for that was my behavior in battle. My behavior in battle meant because I attacked the opponent from behind, I have now lost some of my honor as such. I guess that's the way you'd call it. And as your units fight more and more battles and do more and more tactical things, that affects how they can evolve. So if you do a lot of immoral things or underhanded things, then your character is going to evolve in a different way to if you do noble things like attack up front all the time and stuff, which is pretty cool. Every decision you make matters in this game, it does. And it's all pretty deep and rich and all that stuff. So we can head back to town now. Nobody's going to attack me. And those are the tents that I was talking about. They're having a rest. Meanwhile, Dio's going to go and deal with them. There's a brutish sort of guy there. That's going to be an interesting battle. Actually, I should send some backup there. So we'll do that. Misty with the Griffin. The game has deemed me a rude boy and you shall not get dessert. It is true. I am a rude boy. I'm very, very naughty. I did a very naughty thing and the game will not forgive me for that. Okay, Fox. So Fox is about to just get to town, have a sleep. But he's already had a sleep, you see. So I can send Fox. I'm going to send Fox to deal with this thing because it's annoying me that it's running around there. It's never going to be a threat because it doesn't have a leader. So it's just going to run around like that. But, oh, Dio's doing the naughty thing. He's attacking the enemy from behind. I should win this one. Yep, General dead, and so is the Griffin. Good job there. And both the, oh, sorry, it's not AI down, it's alignment down. Both the two of my characters there, it was deemed to be nasty people because they attacked from behind again. A lot of backstabbing going on here. And now I'm going to be taking on Victor, who's a bit of a thuggish guy. He's just sitting there holding this town. He's got a Cerebrus, and he's an axe guy, and they're pretty tough. Good job there. I won that battle. So now I will take the town. Okay. Well, since that enemy is just there resting, I may as well give the Griffin some practice first, because the Griffin needs it. Definitely my weakest unit, because there's only two of them. There's only the Griffin and the healer character there. If they don't have an easy battle, then they are difficult to level up. So I will take this opportunity to give Misty some experience. And because I caught the enemies asleep, they're asleep. See? That's all I've got. I've got like a Griffin that just doesn't attack. And that is it. The heal is useful, but not much damage dealing potential. And I'm going to lose this battle now because that's it. See? I lost. Very tough to level a party like that up in the early stages. You generally want to give them some more experience, or some more units, sorry, some more units to use while you'll try and level them up so desperately. But they're going to get sandwiched now between these two units here. Oh, no, they're not. You got away. That's the fatigue. Let's just pause. Pause. That's right. We will move Fox on over there. And we will also move Misty back there to recover. Because the next thing we need to do is attack the enemy base. That's all that's really left. And that's a tough battle. You kind of need to swamp them with everything you got. So, I mean, as you can see, the game it's not exactly a fast-moving game. It does take its time to do its thing. And each level feels like it has consequences as a result. Thankfully, all the levels in this game are particularly well designed. This game is really, really nicely designed, actually. Every single battle in this thing is a joy to play through. Ah, there's a little map. I did not realize I could pull that up. I found the button to do that. I'm getting the hang of the controls here, which is nice. So we're about to be attacked again by this guy. He's going to try and take his town back, but we're ready for him. We'll teach him a lesson. What I'm going to do is send Christina up now to sandwich this enemy that doesn't have a leader. I mean, you got to defeat them because you need the experience points. It's like a grinding thing. So we do need to take the time to actually defeat that enemy. Okay, time for a battle with this Cerberus and Axeman again. A repeat, round 2. I just got too much damage dealing potential this unit. Too hard for them. Too hard. Bad luck. You lose. Now what I will do this time, because that enemy is pretty weak now, what I'm going to do is... Oh, excellent. He's retreated the wrong way. So I'll get Fox to move up and attack him. And I'll also... see, Fox here has unit commands, battle strategy. This is where you can get pretty granular about what you do. So battle strategy is by default picked to autonomous. They'll attack whoever seems like the best target at that time. But I'm going to set them to attack leader. We're going to go after that leader and try and defeat him in one go here. And you can do that for every individual unit, give them different commands based on what you need them to do or where you think their strengths are, and that's pretty cool. Another depth. Hey, what are you doing? The one thing I wish you could do in this game, which I don't think you can, at least I don't remember being able to, is actually tell them to target an enemy and they'll automatically move in to do that. They'll track the enemy. Can't do that in this game, I don't think. I'm attacking from behind, which is going to affect my unit's alignment, but that's all right. This is the first time that Fox is at a battle anyway, so he's got a whip. And the Cerberus attacked back. Now we got one attack, killed the whole unit. Oh, their alignments went up. I don't know why, because it was another behind the back attack, but I'll take it. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you can have alignment down. It doesn't turn your unit weaker. It just means that what they can evolve into is a little bit different. So I'll send him back to rest. After that, it is definitely just the boss that we need to fight. There's nothing else to do now. So we'll get Christina to deal with this. And I'll also get Misty. Firstly, oh, it doesn't matter. Since the boss is already dead, I'll get Misty to move out and between the two of them, they'll cut that enemy off. See, you can't just tell them to attack the enemy. It's so annoying that you can't do that. Anyway, we're herding this enemy towards the the units in the town there anyway. So whatever happens, somebody's going to attack them soon enough. But as it turns out, whoops, you can change battle strategy in the fly too. So she's a wizard or magician, mage, whatever. Unfortunately, really doesn't have much going for her either. Those two kind of units there, they'll eventually turn into something good, but for now, they just don't do much. I did win that battle at least, so. Now I've got to go and send these units up that way. So Christina, we'll send you this way. And Misty, we will send you this way. It can be annoying to try and track down individual enemies when they're just running away from you. Because, yeah, I might send a third one just to make sure it happens as fast as possible. So let's send Ginger into the heart of the forest. Yeah. Misty. Can actually go quite far into this forest. But I am herding them that way, so they'll get stuck in that little corner there, which will do me. Once I have them all nice and excuse me, once I have them all nice and entrapped, then no, you don't. There we go. Another battle. I will lose this one, unfortunately. Unfortunately, there's just nothing. Oh, that's not bad. Didn't do too much damage. Oh, that was good. And I won it. That's unusual. A bit of luck there for me. Except that sends the enemy that way. Okay, so we'll move you down that way to cut them off there. We'll move you down that way. And we'll move you. Who's going to get the kill, I wonder? Let's find out. The noose is... Oh, and they've fallen asleep. Well, that's just very unfortunate for them. For the monsters, they're going to very much cop this. Here we go. They will die here. To my wizard. That's good. Wizard needs the experience. Oh, they're not going to die, though. Just another one battle. Which means the enemy is going to be pushed away again. Pushed where is the question? Oh, right into Ginger. It's a back-to-back attack. Yeah. Okay. That was just unfortunate, but... Oh, this will be it for them. Nope, not yet. The Cerberus has exactly 4 hit points left. So that's a free bit of experience for whoever grabs it. It would be good to give that to Misty if I can. If I can herd the enemy at Misty. And they could use that experience. Oh, the Cerberus has fallen asleep anyway, so that'll be a free win for Misty, which is good. And I can send him back to heal, or get ready, have a rest, be fresh for the big attack. And there we go. As simple as that. 30 experience points. So it was worth it. Like most games of this kind of tactical variety, the leveling up happens every 100 experience points. So that really helped. Okay. So now we send all of our units back. They'll have a rest for, I'll give them a day, in-game day. And then the final attack happens. And in that, you basically just send every unit you've got at the enemy and just swamp them because they won't move off the base. They'll continue to heal. And very Fire Emblem-like tactics, you want to try and knock them out pretty quickly. So it does take a moment or two to get rested up and ready to go. Okay, so just give them a moment. Now we get to watch my glorious victory. All right, that'll be enough. Okay, so we'll just pause so we can issue orders to everybody. No. What I want to do first is send my biggest hitter out, as well as my commander. So I send those two at the same time, and then just give them a lead of about an hour in-game. Therefore, they become the first to attack of their respective waves. Okay. Now send the rest. So the rest gets to deal with whatever's left. Otherwise, you'll have my my Griffin character doing the first attack, and they'll just get slaughtered. So you have to do it the right way around. But 6 units. Misty goes last. And now we sit back and enjoy the show. The fireworks are going to be great. Here we go. So we do get a cutscene as well. So he's got a dragon. His name is Stabillo, the commander of the bandits, with a very fine name for a bandit, I must say, Stabillo. Holding the mines. So they they are freedom-loving bandits. They're doing what they do because they don't like working at the mines or some such. And of course, you being the you're working for the man as such, so that's why you're doing what you're doing. You're a cop. You're a cop. So I did some good damage there. It was good damage. But unfortunately, because it is the boss battle, if you don't defeat the boss, then it counts as a loss. So he will retreat. And I'll give him a moment. I'll let him fall behind. I'll let him actually go back and rest. Actually, because one of his characters took quite a beating. And I've got plenty of more coming behind them. So next up will be the Fox Man. You're the cops. We are indeed the cops, Sean. We are not the good guys in this game. I did tell them to defeat the boss, so that's what's just happened. And I've won because I beat they targeted the boss, and that's what they did. They left the dragon alone and just focused on defeating Silbilio, and that's what has happened. So we get some fireworks, and we get the congratulations. We have apparently done a good job there. And at the end, you get these soldiers, which you can use to create those weak units that we saw, and they can fill up your ranks. We got 9, which is enough for 3 units of those. And we've captured Silbilio. What are you planning? Tell me, Jack. And Silbilio was just a decoy. The prince has been attacked. Instability, anarchy, chaos. Your foolishness just cracks me up. I like Silbilio. He says it how it is. Our true goal is revolution. We will destroy the royal family and the nobles and bring changes to this kingdom. Good on him. He's having a go. He's having a go. He's given it his best shot. Got to respect that. We were ordered to get your attention. I did not expect they'd dispatch rookies like you, but it is too late. And we will raise the flag of revolution on Prince Yumil's grave. So there we go. That is the first battle, the opening scene, the first volley of Ogre Battle 64. Those guys seem like the good guys to me. Yeah, I generally sympathize with the revolutionaries in these things. And Gandalf just shows up. Didn't do anything during the fight, just kind of hung around. But once the fighting's over, here he is again, ready to dispatch his wisdom. Take command and rescue the prince. So that is our next mission. How dare you? He was supervising. Oh, that's right. It was just a test, wasn't it? It was only a test training run. That's what that was. It was a training battle, because that is the best way to train soldiers. Just throw them out in the middle of an actual battle. And so there we go. That's how we get to the next battle. And we can go in here and just save our game so we don't lose all that progress. And that gives you a first look at Ogre Battle. I say works for Russia, but well, yeah. That gives you a first look at Ogre Battle. We'll give this stream a rest for today. I just wanted to get back into it really today, and I'll work back up to doing longer streams as we go along. Whether I play this one on the next one or not, I don't know, but I've got an awful lot of retro games to work through anyway. So yes, it'll be good fun doing these streams again. Thank you very much for Sean for chatting to me. And like I said, hopefully over time we start to get our little community going again, because these were fun. And have a good week, everybody. We will see you next time around.